Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Confidence Culture Conversations. Kirubai,
Hello.
how are you doing?
It seems like forever we've not met and we've not come online and we've not done our podcast. Wow, wow, wow. What's happening? Elizabeth, we all are, let me answer this. I think we all are very busy with our our things that our business, our church, and minding God's business. So
Exactly.
yeah, we are busy, and so I think this is an appropriate time to say that we will only be doing this every fortnight, right, Elizabeth?
Right, but you're going to be away for about a month. So,
Yes. So we will resume again once I get back. For those, and I promise you that I will start posting all the old videos. I have been very, very lazy, I believe. No, I just omitted doing that, and I promise you I will try and be more diligent about posting the older videos that people can follow.
absolutely, that's fine. That's fine. Whenever you're able to, I think one of the things that helps is so, like right now, as we start, I'll go onto my WhatsApp and I'll share the link on YouTube so people can go on there as well. So anyone going into my WhatsApp status will be able to see the link. Um, so yeah, I think um, I got a message from somebody who I think it was last week. Did we have a video out last week? Yes, we did.
No, 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 not
No?
last week.
Was it the
No,
week before? So the week
that's
before,
right.
um, somebody watched the episode, but she watched it last week, funny enough. So she
Oh,
watched
okay.
it last week at the time we usually show up because that's when she called me. And
Uh-huh.
this is the lady who does the radio show, which I appeared on Friday.
Ah,
So she
lovely.
was listening to Confidence Culture Conversations, and she thought,
Oh,
wait, we need to have this conversation on the radio. And
mhm.
so she invited me onto her radio show, and we had a conversation. And so if you're listening and you're wondering where is this conversation, go onto my Facebook page and you will see the link to go and listen to that radio interview. But I just in that interview I just shared my journey to coaching.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome. So, Kirubai, what have you been up to? Because you've been busy.
Big busy, busy trying to trying to get a curriculum going. It's so difficult because the parts of my work is it's so different and ad hoc. So I'm trying to put a curriculum going, and I really need God's wisdom. And besides that, having lots of private coaching, voluntary coaching, I must say, and that has taken quite a bit of my time. But you know
Mm,
what? This is about adding value to people.
that's it.
Yeah, we are adding value, individuals and many other couples, and also leadership in leadership as we lead ourselves. People are watching. People are
Mm,
watching. So I just want to be obedient. When God pulls, He pulls.
he does. He does.
Yeah. So I had five people call me on a Saturday morning where I just said, I'll relax and I'll just do my laundry. And there we go again.
You're on demand, Kirubai. Cheers to that.
Just to that. But you know what? God is good because there's a very broken world out there.
Mm.
And I
That's the
believe
reality.
you are also making a lot of impact because a lot of people, we can do something, and
Mm,
yet they want to look at the monetary value.
mm,
But when God gives a pose, and sometimes these people they really can't afford coaching.
mm,
So it's either a decision you make, either you you just leave them and say, I only work with people who pay me, or I don't want to work with you.
That's it.
Yeah, but we have to be.
Hi, Gladness. Thanks for joining us this evening.
So we also need to tread carefully and just feel the parts, as you say, feel the the environment, feel the place they are coming from, because they could
Mm,
be hoodwinking us, Elizabeth.
mm,
They can afford something, but yet they don't want to pay. But you know what? Money is beside the point. We are here to empower people.
absolutely.
Then- Yeah,
Hi, Golden. Thanks for joining all the way from Uganda. Thank
lovely.
you so much. Gladness, keep up the amazing work that you are doing in Maidstone and impacting the lives of so many women. It's great to see what you're doing, and it's even great to be a part of it. It's amazing. God bless you on that. So, Kirubai, we are talking about adding value today, right? And what you've just, the intro you have given is all around adding value. So I've titled this episode as The Power of Valuing People. What difference does it make to you when you value others?
For me, when I add value to someone, it gives me the immense joy,
Mm,
satisfaction that I have imparted something concrete, something that's good. Because, as John Maxwell says, leadership is influence.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we in a way we are leading an individual and paving the path to do the right thing.
Mm,
The scripture says, if there is something within your means to bless someone, do it. I can't hold back, Deborah. Sorry, Elizabeth. I don't know why this name Deborah keeps coming. I just spoke to someone called Deborah. So yeah, so you can't hold back when you
mm,
know you are in a position to bless.
mm. I love that because, there's, it's not a scripture, but there is a saying out there, you are blessed to be a blessing.
That's right.
And God has blessed us with so much. And I think when we show up to add value, we are showing up to be a blessing. We are showing up to make a difference. I remember a few years ago watching a video which is on YouTube somewhere, but it's a video by John Maxwell, and he talks about valuing people. It's something that he is very big on. I think his life revolves around valuing others. Now, if we are going to thrive in leadership, whether it's even just leading ourselves, whether it's leading a nation, whether it's leading a community, we have to learn to value others. And as I speak about this, I am getting a bit passionate because valuing a nation,
Oh,
valuing the people
Elizabeth,
in the
I
nation.
know where you're going. But you know what? Take the opportunity and do it.
Honestly, thank you, Tunji. Thanks for joining us today. So let me do a little rant here, if I may, please, Kirubai, because we're talking about valuing people. Now, I am originally from Uganda. If you don't know where Uganda is, it's somewhere in East Africa. We're next to Kenya, we're next to Tanzania. That's where we are. Um, we had elections on 15th of January. And I will not call them elections. I cannot call them elections because it was rigged. It was a rigged system.
Mhm.
It was a setup. It was a setup for the government that's currently in power, which has been in power since 1986. I was born in 1985.
Oh,
Museveni, our president, has been in power for 40 years. And apparently, Uganda is classed as a democratic country.
no way.
Now, when these elections were happening, 2 days before elections, the internet was cut off. Why would you cut off the internet? Why would you block channels of communication? So that the outside world would not see what's going on? And we have a lot of people who've come out and spoken, congratulations on a free and democratic election process. It wasn't. There was cheating, there was rigging. They had some machines that were supposed to do a biometric thing, and that's how you were supposed to sign in to vote. Well, guess what? The biometric machines were not working on the day of elections.
Oh, very convenient.
How convenient. How convenient. And something that really stood out to me in the area where Museveni was voting, right? um Apparently they had about 5,769 or something like that, around that number. Don't quote me on the exact figures. They had about 5,700 voters who were registered in that area, but apparently the number of votes they got was about 5,800. How does that work? And he got 100% votes. How does that work? So it was engineered to look like we had a free and fair election, but actually we didn't. As I speak, the main opposition leader in Uganda is in hiding. Why? Because the army has been stationed outside his house since that
Wow.
day. And what has the army done? The army had the audacity to break into the house, not once, twice. On the second occasion, they actually assaulted his wife to the point that she ended up in hospital. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about valuing people. If you are a leader, you are in leadership to value others. It's not about your gain. It's about serving the nation, serving the generations. The day that they had elections, and anyone who was for the opposition party, as long as the army got wind of you, a lot of people ended up in prison, and they're still in prison. It's ridiculous. It's insulting. It's insulting the intelligence of the intelligent people in the nation of Uganda. And I believe there are intelligent people in the nation of Uganda. Honestly, Kirubai, I could do this all day. You take over.
Maybe this is something that we need to talk about. Let's not walk on eggshells, because this is the same thing that happened in America. They rigged in 2020. They rigged the elections. They rigged the elections, and it is the same thing that has happened in South Africa. Um, now you say Uganda, Rwanda, and all the little nations. You know, they are doing this because they want to just sit on power. But you know what the scripture says? There is a scripture that says God is sitting on the throne and he is
Mm,
looking and looking, and there will be a day that he will strike. He will strike. You know, Africa is very susceptible to it.
mm,
Even in Asia, the political party, the political party is rigged. They all are out for money. It's just their own pockets. And who suffers? The poor, the mediocre society, the people who have little salary, and they live hand to mouth.
mm.
And God is coming. God is coming with his rod of righteousness. I don't care. I will say it. And while you go on with this subject, I will look for that scripture, because we are women of faith. We are
Mm,
women of faith, and we need to call out these things. Should we be scared? Should we be afraid?
mm,
And we really, God needs to raise up some um, leaders who are honest, righteous, to bring down heaven into these nations before the Lord returns. So, as you
absolutely.
said, leadership is influence. How is this corrupt leader influencing the nation? He's influencing his pocket, his family, his extended family. It
So,
just takes the finger of God to.
so
God is merciful.
in Uganda, the head of the army is the president's son.
S-
It's ridiculous. And this guy, he's special. And when I say he's special, I don't think he's okay mentally, because he will
Wow.
go on Twitter and he will put out some crazy tweets. He will put, sorry, Twitter, I mean X, right? Whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
He'll
The
go on
X,
there and he
yes.
will put out some crazy tweets, to the point that he is bragging about how many opposition members have been killed. He's proudly saying it, saying how he can't wait to catch this opposition leader who's in hiding so he can castrate him. What kind of behavior is that? And then we have spiritual leaders, religious leaders, who are standing side by side by these governments
So
that are
what
oppressing.
does it say? The pockets might be lined, the churches might be lined, the ministries might be lined. But today I shall declare this word over Uganda and all the nations that come about being oppressed by people who are seated in government for many, many, many years. It's in Ezekiel 15,
Mm,
verses 7 to 8, the Passion Translation. Yahweh says, I will oppose them. They may have escaped one fire, but another fire will yet devour them.
amen.
When I set my face against them, then you will know that I am Yahweh.
Mm,
So they cannot escape, Elizabeth. And it's a shame. You call yourself a man of faith. This is lawlessness.
it
These are
is.
the signs of the Lord. These are the signs of last days. So whoever is listening from Uganda, wake up and smell the coffee.
Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's move on from that rant. But it's a typical example
Mhm,
of what happens when you don't value people,
mhm,
especially if you are in what you call a democratic nation. People have voted for you. People have put you in power for you to serve them, not for you to fatten your pocket, not for you to have your own personal gains, but for you to serve them, for you to make things better. Now, if we come down a little bit lower to the workplace or to different communities we find ourselves in, how should we value people, or what are the characteristics? What does valuing people look like for someone who is a leader? How can I show that I value people?
As a leader, as someone who is has positive influence, one of the biggest things is we need to see how, as a leader, he's a team player,
Mm,
a team player who supports the people are in his team, and to be there for everything and anything to do with support.
mm,
And when something that is wrong is, you need to call out and help your team leave those things that are not right, to bring a place of accountability and correction for the
mm,
betterment of the organization. Because there is another side to leaders
mm,
who do not call out when there is fraud, or there is things that are not right in the organization, but as a leader, we need to call out these things with gentleness and meekness, but also being firm
Yeah. Mm.
because you are accountable to your management.
Mm.
Mm,
And you've hit on something there about accountability. And if we are going to exercise great leadership, then we have to be leaders who can be held accountable. No leader is above being held accountable. And whether it's that we need to be held accountable by the people that we are leading, or by the overarching systems that we are part of, communities we are part of, but we have to submit to some sort of accountability. And this even goes in churches. And we are seeing a lot coming out in churches about different things that have been going on. And it's time for people to be held accountable. It's time for people to be held accountable. And if you're a leader, you have to be willing to submit to an accountability process, an accountability structure. Because the reality is, we're all human beings. We all fail at some point in time. We all do. But being in leadership is a place of vulnerability as well. And sadly, when you are in leadership, your failures are almost magnified. And as I say this, I'm reminded of something that's been trending on social media, where a pastor who's originally from Nigeria, but I think he's based in America now. I think he's living in America now. It was his birthday, I think it was last week, and he got a tattoo and he posted about it. And oh my word, the reaction on social media. You're a pastor, you got a tattoo. It's a thing of the devil. What are you thinking? What are you doing? And I'm just like, wow. And some people are saying, yes, the Bible doesn't necessarily say that a tattoo is sin, but you're in a place of leadership and people are watching you. So what example are you setting? And I think that's the thing about being in leadership, is that people are watching you.
that's
But
right.
I don't think it's just a leadership thing. I think in general, people are watching us.
Yeah. Your neighbors are watching you. Your children are watching you. Your spouse is watching you.
That's it.
Family watching you. Oh my. So, as women in leadership,
Mm,
they get the brunt of things, Elizabeth. This is what I'm hearing now. The
mm,
common grievance is that women don't get the best of leadership in organizations.
mm,
So they are in a very precarious position. And I think with something like that, they can go a little bitter and
mm,
they can get a little unhappy. But so how to overcome this? Because I know in general men are paid more than women in leadership positions in
mm,
corporations, which is totally blatantly unfair.
mm.
So how are we going to overcome this? No, we might, as women of faith, we might say, God understands, and we might just leave that fight and go. But if you are somebody who wants to make a point, and then
Mm.
it becomes ugly in leadership. So what are your thoughts, Elizabeth, on this?
The disparities, right? It's a funny one, because I think lately I've been noticing that I think some people are coming round to the idea that women make good leaders.
Mm,
And I've seen it, a couple of organizations where women are the CEOs, women are in leadership positions. And I think one of the things that we need to be conscious of is that regardless of whether someone is male or female, what do they bring to the table?
Mhm.
Do they qualify to be in that leadership place? And if so, we need to value them, especially if they're doing a great job. We need to value them. Now, when you mentioned about women in leadership getting paid, less, and the thing is, it's not just, I guess, in leadership, it's in general, even in sports, right? And I'm reminded yet again of a situation in Uganda. God forgive me, but I'm going there again. And today we just had news that the lady who has been in charge of the Uganda Airlines is stepping down from her job. Now, she's a young lady. On paper, she doesn't qualify for the job. And
So
so a lot
your
of,
president might have put his crony there.
you think, Kirubai, because the reality is, when it came to her to the interview process, about 40 or so people applied. She didn't apply, but she got the job. Apparently, the day she wanted to apply, she got a call to say she had been appointed. How does this work?
That's right.
It's not a fair process, right?
Yeah.
And this is all boils down to valuing people. And I don't think we should go to the place where we are valuing others more than others, right? So because they're male, we value them more, or because they're from a particular tribe or they're a particular race, we place more value on them. No. Do they do the job? Do they qualify to do the job? Do they bring the skills to the job? I mean, just even being in leadership, if you don't value the people you're leading, you are going to fail in that position.
Mhm.
That's the reality. If you don't value the people you are leading, you will fail in your role as a leader. Now, I'll use the example of, we're people of faith, me and you, Kirubai. So I will use a biblical example, or should I say, I will use God Himself. He valued us so much. He valued
Yeah.
us so much that He gave His only
Only
begotten Son as a ransom for us, to take our place, to take the pain and the shame and the guilt. This is the message of the gospel.
Mhm.
He valued us so much. That is why Jesus could endure the pain of the cross, because He valued us so much. We have a mandate, I'll put it that way, to value others, because we are called to love. If I don't value you, I won't love you. I can't pretend. I have to be able to value you, because when I value you, I can express that in the way that I show love towards you. That's what valuing is. Valuing is treating others the way you would want to be treated. Valuing is seeing the best in others, not just seeing people by their faults and their failures, but actually seeing them and praising them. We forget that sometimes. Sometimes we are too busy. Did we achieve this? Did we hit this target? Who messed up? Who failed here? But actually, why not take a moment to say, so and so, we value you. Thank you for the difference that you are making to the team. Thank you for what you bring to the table. It doesn't cost a lot to show that you value the people you are leading. Pamela, thank you so much for joining us. It's good to have you on here. Please let us know where you're watching from. I get the feeling you are watching from Malaysia. I don't
No,
know.
no.
No,
She's in
UK.
Nottingham. She's in Nottingham, but I'm
Nottingham.
Malaysian.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Pamela. If there's anything that we are touching on in this conversation that really stands out for you, please just let us know, like put it in the comments. Or if there's a thought that you have about valuing people, then let us know.
You know,
You know,
simple, sorry,
go on.
a simple eatery like KFC and McDonald's, they have the best um, employee of the month being, they place the picture and they value them. You
Mm,
know, they do simple things like that. And another thing would be Chick-fil-A,
mm,
a real lovely eatery in the US, because they stand on Christian principles and they always value their employees. So, so sometimes when I'm going back to this fact of women not being appreciated in
mm,
leadership. So when women are not appreciated in leadership, one of the drawbacks that they fall back into is being insecure.
mm,
It kind of creeps in. It kind of creeps in, and because they feel they're not appreciated, insecurity comes,
mm,
lack of confidence comes. If you stand up for yourself and other women in the organization, they might brand you as a bully.
mm,
They brand you as a bully, and they might brand you as a big mouth person. So I think over and above all these things, we have to stand for our rights.
mm,
I'm not advocating feminism here, but I'm talking about things that is close to my heart.
mm,
It's close to my heart because I was not valued in the place of work when I was in finance.
mm,
And this is like uh, 35 years ago.
mm,
And it's still carrying on. When is this vicious cycle going to be completely taken off the board? So it's very painful. I can tell you that it's very, very painful.
mm. So Kirubai, if someone's watching and they're thinking, well, I'm a leader, what are some practical things I can do to show my team I value them?
Okay, I could just, I can say the things that I did when I was in I had a team of 12 people.
Mm,
And we kind of month and we would always have a meal together, talk, and just talk about general things, being there. And if they had some home issues, they had some family problems, being there for them.
mm,
Say, I'm
mm,
here supporting you, and I'm here supporting you. And when the workload gets heavy, because I was in a retail bank, and workload can be very, very, very high. So, instead of sitting at your desk, going in and helping them ease the traffic with clients, with your customers. So
mm,
they see what I do, and the person who I trained carried on that tradition, because what you
mm.
see, you do.
Yeah.
So just being there, and sometimes because I used to be in charge of tellers, 12 tellers. So sometimes when they lose money, our money is not covered in Malaysia. Here you are covered
Mm,
by insurance, in the sense if you lose something, you put it back.
mm,
So we can do a little bit of a collection and say, you know what, here there's some money for you to cover your loss. And sometimes we can drill down, check, and find out who we have overpaid to. So I'm always hands on, not sitting there as a leader, as an officer in charge, but I'm there putting my hands to the plow.
mm.
And when they see that, they can identify. They're
Okay.
secure. Oh, my leader, my officer is he's there. He's got my back.
Mm.
So that's the experience I have as in the retail banking. I know Elizabeth might be having a different viewpoint, but I was always in a branch, always serving clients, and so it was there I learned how to be uh, a servant. And I think it was a year before I resigned. I became the no no before I was promoted, I became the best teller in the whole of Malaysia. That was many years ago. So these are things that, I appreciate. But the training was good. It was hard.
Mm.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was good.
I like what you said, because one of the things that has stood out for me in what you have said is don't be afraid to get your hands dirty as a leader. Because when you can get into the trenches with the people that you are leading, it shows them that you value them.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not just sat at my desk minding my own business, not getting involved, but actually I am with you. And you know that builds trust. And if people can trust you,
Mm.
they are more willing to follow your leadership.
Oh, yes, completely
Trust is a
agree.
big part of being a leader.
Mm.
If people don't trust you, it's not going to be an easy ride. It's not going to be. So I like that. So lead by example. And you mentioned something about when people see what you're doing, it's more likely that they're going to do as well. So you're leading by example. You're showing them this is how it's done. You're showing them I also do it. Like I'm not above in the sense that I can't get my hands dirty anymore because now I'm leading you. Sorry. No,
Mm.
it's being humble enough. And this again, I'm reminded of Jesus, the humility to lay aside all that he was, to come to be, to take on the nature of man, the nature of a human being, so that he could win us over. He became like us.
Mm-hmm.
So leadership is not, I am above you. If I value you, I'm going to be among you. In leadership, if you value people, you empower them.
Mm-hmm.
Help them to understand that this is a place that they can belong. You mentioned about having meals with them.
Mm-hmm.
It makes such a difference. So you might be watching this and you're a leader and you're thinking, well, where do I start? And sometimes it depends on the setting that you're in. But also think about, if you were in their position, what would you like the person leading to do? Because you're a human being as well who wants to be valued. So think about little things like that. I remember one time when I was working in a call center. This is when I was still in the bank, the first job I had in the bank, and we were working on a Saturday. No one wants to come in for a Saturday shift because you would rather be at home.
Yes.
And the team leader that day decided he was getting all of us breakfast. That was the best Saturday to work. So he got for all of us breakfast. We didn't come off the phones. We were on the phones, but we were also having our breakfast. He ordered takeaway breakfast for us. And that just made
Nice.
a difference. It showed that he valued us
Mm-hmm.
because he understands. No one wanted to be in on a Saturday, but you're here. So let me show you that I value you. And that can make a difference. When you invest in the people that you are leading, because one of the things about leadership is that as a leader, you're raising leaders. That is one of your mandates. You're raising leaders. You're basically working yourself out of a job. You're raising leaders. So how do you raise leaders? Be an example, empower them, give them the tools to grow, give them the tools that they need to enlarge their capacity. Show them how. If there's opportunities within the organization, show them, be open to that. Don't be in a leadership position and only think, what's in it for me? That's not the attitude to have. How can you add value? Every day, that should be on your mind. How can I add value to the people I'm leading? Just even the simple thing of making them a cup of tea, that can make a difference. Appreciating them can make a difference. You don't have to wait for a special occasion when it's their birthday, when it's a big celebration. No, just every so often. Maybe you can even write them a letter or a little card at the end of every week on a Friday. I think I had Craig Groeschel talking about this on his leadership podcast. You can write a little appreciation note every Friday. Give it to the people that you're leading. The reality is you don't know what people are dealing with outside of the space that they're in with you. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what they have encountered. And if they come into the space and they feel like they can't express themselves in the space, whether it's at work, whether it's in church, in community, wherever it is that you are leading, create safe spaces where people can be vulnerable and not feel like someone is going to abuse their vulnerability. A space that is warm. Be a leader who is approachable. Don't be a leader whom people see coming and like, oh, no, be a leader that people can have conversations with, that people can laugh with. Be a leader who is friendly.
It's just reminded of this, um, sometimes, our team, they can also pick up our mistakes. We are humans, but don't be in denial and be a dictator, to be a dictator and say, oh no, you just push it aside. But be humble enough. Humility is very important to be able to say, yes, I've made a mistake. Thank you for pointing it out.
You're not beyond correction.
Yeah, we all are fallible people.
Mm.
Yeah, leadership is a very amazing. I wish when I was working in finance in Malaysia, I wish I had this exposure.
Mm.
I would have been a better leader. But you know what? It's never too late to learn.
That's it. That's it. It's never too late to be a better leader.
Mm. So yeah, it's amazing. It's And leadership also, I think one of the things is it identifies your weakness and your strength.
Mm.
So let me elaborate and let me expand this a bit. I think as a leader, when you have a little setback about a certain area of leadership, you must be humble enough to go and ask your team people, your team, please help me or teach me.
Mm.
Of course, I'm doing a comparison to retail banking because it's always an update and always new what should I say, regulations that come. So it's nothing wrong in asking different your team how
Mm.
to work around it. What would their suggestions be, and how you can improve the system.
Mm.
So one of the things that, because there's a lot of regulation with the um like what should I say, this main bank, the mother bank, what do you call it, I forget, uh
Which one?
that
Bank of England?
regulates, huh?
Which one? Here in the UK?
Yeah, what do they call it, the
The
Bank
Financial
of
Conduct
England.
Authority?
yeah, the Bank of England, Bank of England,
Mhm.
their regulatory body. In that equivalent, we have in Malaysia called Bank Negara. So they send out circulars all the time. So sometimes in a week, you can have 10 circulars. And we need
Mm.
to be current. So one of the things I do is to make my staff important. I have 12 people under me. I give 10 of my staff each a circular. You read and you condense it and you share with the team.
That's good. Empowering. You're empowering them.
Yeah, that's right. So, and then I learn there's some things that are P and C you can't share, but most of the things they also need to know because it's regulatory, you have to follow.
Mm.
So that's one of the things that I used to do.
No, that's good. That's good because you're helping them to grow their knowledge,
Yeah.
and you're empowering them by just even asking them to share their learnings. So when we're in that place of leadership, valuing people is evidenced in our actions. It's not just something that we say, it's something that we do. It's who we are. It's the way that you show up. It's the way you interact, the conversations you have, the levels of relationship that you build. Valuing people is not just coming and talking at them, it's creating space for them to talk. And that might even look like, can we go for a coffee? And you're not just yapping at them, but you show that you're interested in getting to know more about them. And I don't know if you've seen the show Undercover Boss.
Yes, I love that show.
It's just interesting how they build relationship with the people, and then how
Mm,
they reward them at the
for
end
them.
of the
Yeah.
show.
Mm.
Valuing somebody can be the game changer to whether or not they stay in an organization, they stay in a church, they stay in whatever community setting, or a business. The way you value, your culture of valuing people can make or break.
Let's take the scenario in a church.
Mm.
Elizabeth, there's a lot of church hurts, right?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So basically, the leadership, the trustees, the committee probably didn't value this person or persons. It's a shame. So, a couple of weeks ago, I heard this prophecy.
Mm.
So this person, who's my client, she had a very powerful prophecy. She went for a women's conference,
Mm.
and she had a very powerful prophecy, and she took the prophecy and shared with her pastor's wife. And this person who gave the prophecy is a very creditable prophet.
Mm.
She shows the wife of the pastor, and the pastor's wife dismisses it and says, "Oh, this is falsehood." So that lady, she's so broken, and
Mm.
she reaches out to me. So we all have prophetic word over our lives,
Mm.
and sometimes we would like to share with our leaders for us maybe to help navigate. And the lady came broken, and now she has left the church with her family
Wow.
because it was spiritual witchcraft.
Mm.
So if the prophecy, because the prophecy kind of uh, it kind of exalted. It was more than what the pastor's wife thought. And this
Mm,
lady also is starting her own women's ministry. So, this was control. She wanted this women's ministry to be under the church. But the lady
mm,
said, it's not, it's something God has asked me to do.
mm,
So, you see, you trap people with your mindset and trap people with this negativity, and you
mm,
lose people. So, I had to take some time to work on this um, um, what should I say, the negative feelings that she was going through.
mm.
So, Elizabeth, there's a lot going on in the church, in the nation, at home. Wow, we really need the power of the Holy Spirit to get us by.
We do, and I think if we go back to the example that Jesus set for us, if we can live our lives based on the example he has shown us, I mean, look at the example of Jesus going to eat at Zacchaeus' house. Oh, Zacchaeus felt valued that day. You can be sure of that.
Even though
But
he was a sinner.
but everyone frowned on it. Like, how, you call yourself son of God and you're going to eat with this sinner? So sometimes valuing other people or showing that you value others might go against your cultural viewpoint. It might go against, but don't be afraid to show people that you value them. In marriage, we have to value our spouses. Otherwise, that marriage is going to end very soon. And like I said, and I think I will keep saying, valuing somebody is not just in your words, it's in your actions. It's in your actions, it's in your inactions. And that's exactly the same as love. Love is not just something we talk about, it's something we do. If you value, you make time. If you value, you sacrifice. If you value, you empower. You speak words that will encourage, words that will build up. If you value, teach them a better way. If yes, they're doing it wrong, maybe they don't know the better way, so teach them the better way. If you value your community, for the church leaders out there who might be watching this, if you value your community, the community in church and outside of church, let that be evident in the actions that you take. Valuing is not just something we talk about, it's something that we do. And we should all be, it should be one of the things that's on top of our list is valuing people. Because purpose is not something we can accomplish in isolation. We need people. In order for us to accomplish purpose, to fulfill purpose, we need people. We need relationships. And relationships have to be valued. Otherwise, they don't work. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Kirubai?
No, I think I've said my piece.
Yeah.
Is there any programs that you are doing this February, or any speaking engagements that you have lined up?
So I think that the big one for me is the end of this month, where I'll be having my Dare to Believe Women's Prayer Breakfast. And I'm
Uh-huh.
excited. I am looking forward to it. If you would like to join us, it's going to be in London on the 28th of February at 10 a.m. And it's just a time for us to come together, to have some conversation, have some food, to build
And
community, to
have
pray
an amazing
together.
sorry, amazing breakfast.
Amazing breakfast, yes. And it's about valuing relationships, right? And
Mhm.
valuing our relationship with God, because we'll spend some time in the word, and we'll spend some time just praying together, building community. So do join us. Send me a message on social media, and I will send you the link so you can register and be part of it. But it's going to be great. I'm excited about it, and I really love this topic that we've covered today, because it has so many it has so many angles.
That's
Even
awesome.
people who might be teachers, you have to value your students, because when you value them, you pour the best into them. You don't just give them, you know, the scraps. You give them the best. But remembering that we should do unto others what we would have them do unto us. That's valuing others. That's valuing people. If you have, don't withhold. You're blessed to be a blessing. I think those are my last words, Kirubai. So we can call it a night. We will be back in a few weeks. We're going to give you a break to think about valuing others and take some action on that. And then we will be back in a few weeks, potentially sometime in March. But do follow us on social media, engage with the content that we're putting out, subscribe. If you'd like us to come and do a talk or do a workshop for maybe a women's group that you have running in your community or at your church, your women's ministry, we would be more than happy to do it. Whether it's online or in person, we can make room, because we value you. We value you. But thank you so much for joining us. Um, if you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channels, please do, because you're probably watching this either on Kirubai's page or my page. So follow us and send the link to other people so that they can also watch this and be blessed. Thank you so much once again.
We confidence culture conversations ambassadors.
Yes,
Passing the link,
exactly.
passing the link around.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. God bless
Bye
you.
for now.